Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog, and welcome to the first snow day here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. The snow always comes at an awful time, but it makes me happy. I like the snow a lot. It's just that today wasn't the best time. Today of all days was the day that I planned to take Bandit, who's in tow right here behind us, on the deck over down to Brody to begin the wrap transformation. And it's not so ideal to really tow in the snow because whatever's behind you kind of just catches all of the mist that's blasting off of your vehicle, and today that's happening. So Brody, I want to apologize in advance for the pre-wash that's necessary prior to the wrap color change of Bandit. It just happened to work out that way. I had no other options because I'm traveling later this week to one of my favorite places in the entire world, which is Park City, Utah, for a little getaway with the wife to do some snowboarding, which I'm super pumped about. And today was the day, so I just had to take it. Obviously, if we weren't traveling, then it wouldn't have been a big deal and I could have just waited until the weather cooperated, but this week Mother Nature had it out for us because she's calling for rain and snow literally all week. So sometimes we just got to do what we got to do, and it was kind of sad because Misfit was actually beautifully clean. I mean, I'm talking spotless by Keg's Custom Detailing. Last week he cleaned it. We kept it in the pole building. It was gorgeous. I kept it clean for all of about 2 minutes. 2 minutes is probably an over-exaggeration. It was probably like 2 seconds because when I pulled it out of the driveway, all hope was lost. It just happens to work out that way. It's just the way that it is, right?
Take off, 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 run away, take off, take off, take off, take off, take off, yeah, clear the runway, take flight, don't take, clear the runway, take flight, don't take, clear the runway, take flight, don't take, clear the runway, take flight, don't take. All things work for my good, I know. Big dreams, tough flow, eat good, combo. Just give me some time, all my life I've been waiting for my chance. Had patience, young type man. They want my soul in the clean, yo. They want me switch up the team, yo.
Nice M4, I can back it. So ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are confused because you follow the channel so religiously and you pay mind to the details, you might ask, well, Jack, you dropped the truck off at Brody a few weeks ago to get the wrap started. And well, I did. But as we were going through the final detail, we learned that from the factory, there was actually a little blemish in the front fender, and we could have wrapped over it. Honestly, it wouldn't have been a big problem. It was actually like a small little paint run right at the front of the front fender. We could have wrapped over it. It would have been plenty fine. We could have just written it off, but honestly, it kind of bothered me. So I came back, grabbed the truck, brought it down to Sean at Peach Bottom Auto Body, and he actually sanded that smooth and then repainted it. I wanted to bring in the entire truck and not just the fender to ensure that the blend of the paint was perfect, because when you start to mix different paints, it can kind of throw things off. But fortunately it was. He had the truck to match it out, and it's perfect now. And that's why today we were bringing it back up to Brody's for a second time.
Much later.
So it looks like our buddy made quick work of those big old boulders with the 319 Cat. Thank goodness those things are out because they were literally in the way. And now what I can do is get over here with some more 2A stone, although it looks like it's a mud bath out there right now, and then cover everything up, grade it so it's nice and flat, and then that way we have some nice exterior parking for whatever the future might hold. Plus, I'm thinking about using some of the rock, not that real big rock, but some of the other stuff that I've kind of left over in my rock reservoir, if you will, to build a nice little hardscaping wall here and kind of clean up that whole area. The whole kind of prerogative has drastically changed now that the building is done, because that was the initial goal when my family first moved onto this property, was to essentially prepare it for what is that we're inside right now. And being that it's essentially complete, a lot of the land clearing and the earth moving and the digging and all that fun stuff that we did for essentially the last year is kind of going to get throttled back now that we've got said space. But there are a few little straggler kind of projects that I still want to do that I'm 100% going to keep you guys up to date with, because honestly, landscaping, getting outside, messing around in the dirt is honestly one of my favorite things ever since I was my son's age. Now that being said, when we're filming this video, some things are still kind of somewhat shut down from Christmas, but we were prepared. We've actually got a set of wheels in the back of the Super Duty with a set of tires that are going to be getting mounted and balanced here at E-Town Auto Works. We were hoping to do it today, but they're actually closed, which isn't that big of a deal. So we're going to be getting those over there tomorrow. Just got another delivery, as a matter of fact. And I am pretty excited about it. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at the first ever set of Venom XTs on the channel. We've never had this tire ever in the history of all the builds we've ever done, but finally is the day that we have a chance to interact with them, and I'm really excited. At first, these Venom XTs really didn't do that much for me, but as I saw them on different builds, I fell more and more in love, and I've got a very special build in mind for these ones right here. 14.5 inches wide. Look at the magnitude compared to the size of my hand, man. These things are no joke. I'm definitely super excited to surprise you guys as to what build these specific wheels and tires are going to be going on. The combination is going to be elite. Let me just put it to you that way. So if I had to kind of summarize this very point in time on the vlog, there's a whole bunch of like nothing going on, and let me kind of explain. We're still kind of getting a whole bunch of stuff delivered here to the building, and as much as I want to film and keep you guys up to date with everything that we're doing here, at the same time, you don't really want to see me setting up a refrigerator and a microwave, or unpacking a monitor, or unpacking miscellaneous things throughout the building. I know it's very exciting, but I figured I would just lump it and summarize it all into one thing for you guys. But with some of the unboxing has come some kind of new exciting additions to the building. One of those being a bench press drill press. Now, it's not like your big standing kind, but it's going to suffice for what it is that I believe we're going to need. Picked it up off Amazon. It's a Wen. China made. It had pretty good reviews. I based a lot of my decisions about buying it on those reviews. It's pretty slick. It's multi-speed. It's got a laser right there, as you can see, and a nice little LED light. I think it's gonna be perfect. It is going to end up sitting on a bench for the rest of its life, just not this bench specifically. I'm actually working on getting another big table bench like this one made up, way more durable, way more stable. It's gonna be about the same thickness. It's gonna be about 3 foot wide, but it's actually gonna be about 10 foot long, and the idea is to put it between this window and that window right there as a somewhat rough 'em up table, and then the vise will end up getting moved. This little table was given to me. It's been great, but I think its day of reckoning is right around the corner. Now, also, we added a nice Miller 211 to the fleet. This is a Miller Matic. It's a very nice little MIG welder. It's gonna be able to do most of the welding that it is, I believe, I'll have to run into. It runs different wire speeds, different wire thicknesses, and what's cool is it's got some pre-programmed settings here. So you've got like your flux cord, you've got your stainless steel, different thicknesses of steel, and then of course your MIG aluminum. Probably will never get into aluminum, but I'm really excited about having this in the building now because I've always wanted to become not an expert in welding, but dangerous in welding. So that way, if I run into situations for lift kits, for instance, that we need to weld things on or cut and then weld, we can do it. And also for my equipment that I keep around the building. I actually have one of my grapple buckets, not the Verning that we picked up when we were doing a lot of our clearing back here, but my other grapple bucket that we had on the Cat, that needs some TLC, and that piece of machinery right there is going to help out dramatically. Also, while we were down at Peach Bottom, we picked up some paint match dust covered parts. Dust is a good thing. That means the guys are getting it done, but the paint match turned out absolutely, here, let me just give a quick little gentle wipe there. Incredible. So you can see right there that there's black steel line that runs all the way up and around, tees off, goes down to the front, and then again tees off to the source of air compression, which is right over in the corner. My buddy Bobby did an awesome job on getting that done, and now we are all plumbed up for air on all of our reels. That right there has been super crazy convenient. And then we've just been tidying some things up here in the corner. We've got the slop sink installed. Didn't bring the one from the old shop, went a little bit nicer this time with a stainless steel one. Again, another Amazon purchase. We do have hot and cold water here, which is pretty slick. And then of course the mezzanine, guys, we've got the staircase installed. The railing is all complete. We've got some lighting that runs around that as well. And then we actually went with a postless stair style. So we've got these custom made L-style brackets that are freaking sweet. Our powder coater actually made these custom for us. He does some welding on the side. Powder coated them black, the same color that we do a lot of our wheels. Turned out awesome. So we've got our added support structures here without the need for a massive post right here in the center, which would be pretty invasive.
Much later.
All right, guys, so personally, my day has been all over the place. I know this vlog is somewhat of an extension of the chaotic nature of what is my Monday, but it's all good. And sometimes the best things in life are candid and in the moment. And today is a prime example of that. And that brings us to this point in the vlog, which is about the 2022 Super Duty that we recently brought onto the channel. We haven't been doing all that much with it, but guys, we're building up a lot of really exciting things that are going to play into this truck here very soon. And it's gonna take on a very big transformation. We're just waiting on one more component to come in before this whole process gets started. But that's not what we're talking about today. Rather, with this 2022 Platinum, it came fully loaded, and that included one very interesting package in particular, and that was this Warren winch from the factory. As I had mentioned when we debuted this truck, this Warren winch is a $3,000 factory option, which I think is absolutely absurd. I would never buy a truck with this on, other than the fact that I had to make an exception to get this truck because it was the only carbonized gray in the entire country, and it came from Texas. It's pretty cool, like, I'm not gonna lie. I think that if I got into more, I don't know, ranch hand style stuff or whatever the case was, maybe I would leave it on. But truthfully, guys, this thing does not fit the build direction that we're gonna be taking this truck on at all, and we absolutely have to do something about it. So today, we're gonna figure out how they decided to integrate literally a 12,000 pound winch into the factory front end. Tiny little opening that's probably like 5 inches by, call it like 18 inches, so cleanly, because the Warren Ford partnership was executed pretty well. All things considered, they have their engage and disengagement clutch right here for the winch. It works really well. It doesn't touch on any of the metal at all, and I mean, it's full steel. It's a 12,000 pound winch. This thing is absolutely no joke. So we're gonna take a look at this a little bit closer.
Won't stop, can't stop, work hard, play smart, cause I know that they not, can't let go. This our shot, this our chance to the top. Work too hard, gets the flop. Take a seat, you could watch from the bottom to the top. What is elite? That's what we aspire to be. Reaching new heights like we climbing a tree. Rise to the top and you fall like a leaf. The beast from the gutter got it out of the streets. I'ma be who I wanted to be. Bet when it's up, I'm the one in the lead. LeBron on the beat, gotta crown me the king.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first truck that I've ever seen with a factory winch, and here's how it works. So there's the winch control module over here, which is basically the brain that controls the in-out function, power, all that good stuff comes in here. It's actually got a little plug for the remote control as well. That's all packaged up brand new inside the truck. Then coming around to the front here, you can see Warren branded 12XP-S. We've got our free spool and then our engage for the gear, and it even has a Ford Motor Company placard on it with some sort of a serial number. What I find most fascinating is about the integration, right? It was really clean, like it almost looked like it was from the factory. We would use that as a metaphor in most, but in this instances, it was. So we're gonna climb up under here so you guys can just kind of check out how it's mounted. So we've got frame mounting point on the left side, same on the right side with some associated bracketry here. And then if we climb up underneath, sorry about the awkward angle, there's a bracket off the bottom and the top here that mount to the front frame cross member. So needless to say, that sucker right there is mounted and is straight up part of the chassis until tonight. We are taking this sucker off. So now we've got all of our power feeds that come up and through to our positive and negative terminals. Right here's our positive, and then it's connected to this negative harness right here. And you can actually see they were added in addition to. So we're gonna take this line out, we're gonna take this line out, and then we won't have any power to this thing, and we can finish the removal process. There's your B-boys back to somewhat factory. I say somewhat because I did not put the bezel pieces back into the bumper due to the fact that there's actually one missing that goes right here. I'm gonna have to order that from Ford. And then I'm also trying to figure out how this front end module mounts back in. There was a small stud that came off of the actual bracket that we removed for the guide plate that we took out for the actual winch itself. I took it out and installed it here. It threaded in perfectly, but I don't know. I'm having a hard time. I can't really quite figure out if it just presses on or whatever the case is. So I'm gonna pull up a diagram at another time so we can figure out exactly how to get this thing back to factory Ford without the factory Ford winch. And that brings me to the other things that are here in the back of the truck that I wanted to show you guys. which is this wireless control system, which it looks like it has a receiver on it, and then you can actually transmit to your winch wirelessly, which is definitely nice from the inside of the truck if you're stuck. It looks like it has an actual cover that goes over it, and then of course it has the wired remote control as well. $3,000 factory option right there, guys. That's absurd. So that's where we're gonna wrap up the vlog that we've done a lot of not a lot in. Thank you all for watching. As always, I appreciate your support. Stay on the lookout for the winner of Dream Diesel giveaway number 21, aka this 2022 High Country DURTYMAX that goes by Lone Star and $30,000 cash. Plus we'll have the additional prize winner, which is for the Maverick and the Big Tex trailer. Thank you guys as well for being patient with us as we await feedback from Compliance Sweepstakes Services, our third-party sweepstakes administrator that proctors and bonds all of our sweepstakes that allow us to give away one-of-a-kind badass trucks to you.